Question 2 for the on-level test. There are 64 pencils in a 16-ounce bag of chocolate-covered pretzels. Write and solve a proportion that you can use to find the number of chocolate-covered pretzels in a 5-ounce bag. So we know we're going to need to use a proportion. Now we should set up our units so that they're the same on both sides. So we have ounces and pretzels. I'm going to put ounces on top for my fraction and 64 or the pretzels on the bottom. So for the proportion, if the ounces are on top and the pretzels are on bottom, the ounce should be on top here and the pretzels should be on bottom. So what they give us is 5 ounces, so that can go on top. And what we're looking for is, in that 5-ounce bag, how many pretzels were in it. Again, we have ounces, 16 ounces, and 5 ounces on top. Pretzels, 64, and unknown on the bottom. And then we just solve it like we normally solve it. We multiply the partners, which is 5 times 64, which gives us 320. And then we divide by the loner, which is 16. And that gives us exactly 20 pretzels in a 5-ounce bag. All right. What is the number of chocolate-covered pretzels per ounce? Well, again, we can set up a similar proportion, but now we got to look out for this per ounce. Now we're finding a unit rate. So we can use the same proportion as we did previously, where we had our ounces on top and our pretzels on bottom. But now we're looking per ounce. So for a unit rate per ounce, we definitely need the number 1. So because I have my ounces on top, 16 ounces, then on this side of the proportion, it's going to be 1 ounce. And then again, I'm looking for how many pretzels go in a 1-ounce bag. And I do the same thing. I do multiply the partners, 64 times 1, which just gives us 64. And then that divided by the loner, 16. So 64 divided by 16 gives us 4. And what that means is there are 4 pretzels in a 1-ounce bag. Again, that's a unit rate because we have that number 1 right there, because we're comparing something to one of something else. And we're going to find another unit rate with this question, but this time it's going to be finding the amount of ounces for 1 pretzel. So again, we can set up a similar proportion, 16 over 64, because that's our rate that we have so far. And this time we're looking for how much do the ounces weigh for 1 pretzel. So we're looking for the ounces, because the ounces are on top, 16 ounces, unknown ounces. And we're looking for how many ounces weigh for 1 pretzel. And again, we solve by multiplying the partners and dividing by the loner. So 1 times 16 is 16. 16 divided by 64 is 0.25. So there are 25 hundredths of an ounce for 1 pretzel. Forgetting how to spell pretzel right now. So, yep. So that's how you solve it for a unit rate, both ways. How many pretzels for 1 ounce and how many ounces for 1 pretzel.